Oh, let's see how today goes. How you guys doing? YDBT Daily coming at you. If you look in the background, I have my show going because I wanted to see how big of a delay is on the thing. A lot of you guys don't understand that there's a huge, massive delay, and you're like, how come he's not getting to my questions right away? And I thought it'd be a funny thing to see how much of a delay is actually happening. So I'm going to talk a little bit about PBH's pump gas testing. So we made 1,000 horsepower on the dyno. I even checked the uncorrected numbers. It was only 1.7% correction factor. So the truck literally made 1,000 horsepower on the nose uncorrected. Corrected, it made 1,017. So we can say it made 1,000 rear wheel horsepower legit. And we're gonna go ahead and test everything on pump gas. Why? Well, I think a lot of people that get this kit, if they do get this kit, are gonna be regular guys because it doesn't mess with the Y pipe. It's going to be something you can install in your driveway. You don't have to take out the manifolds. You don't have to do any work on the front of the motor except for connecting the charge pipe to the motor and routing the piping. That's it. Everything else is done after the catalytic converters. So Jake had an idea of potentially putting an 8-pound spring or a 7-pound spring in the back and then putting a pump gas tune in it and go, what the hell? What the hell do we make? I said, well, that size turbo, pump gas, it's probably going to make 650 to 700. And I almost even hate to say 700 because a lot of you guys are going to expect 700. But, that's why Jake's like, well, I'm not going to rag it out. I don't want you to add more timing that you do on your base file. I'm just curious to see what the pump gas tune will tolerate. So there you go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and play with that. And then the final test is tow something heavy with it. Not extremely heavy, not nothing above and beyond the capabilities of an F-150, but it'd be interesting to see how the truck reacts in tow haul mode, towing something, pump gas, turbo. It'll be really interesting to see if the knock sensors complain, to see if it drives weird, if it shudders, if it sees too much spark. I'd love to see what's going on, too much spark or too high of a load at low RPM. I'd love to see. So we're doing the testing, and tomorrow we're going to put it on the dyno. That's right. I said, let's get it on pump gas. Jake's been driving it. He goes, it drives really good. Okay, good. So then we're going to put on the dyno and see how much the pump gas tune will tolerate. The goal is not to make big power. The goal is to see how much it'll make on gate. And if we do happen to turn on the boost controller and slowly start turning it up until the knock sensors start to complain, we'll dial it back down. We're not going to rag it out. It's pump gas. It's Florida pump gas on top of that. So before I get way too into it and get some of your questions, I want to, get to the guys here. See who's going on. See who's actually, what I'd love for you guys to do? Do me guys a favor. Post what you do for a living and your age. I'm really curious to see what the age range is of the guys that watch this show. Like, are you guys in your 20s mostly, in your 30s mostly, in your 40s mostly? So if you don't mind, put what you do for a living. Could be a IT guy, 39. Porn actor, 22, whatever the fuck you want to do. So we can do it that way. I'm curious to see what my demographic is on the show at this time of day. So the people that are on are Corey Electby. You said yo, 2000 MCR, Angel Jovel, Lost Builds, Clip Clop the Horse, Denzel, Isaiah, D-Rock, Garrett, Celeste, Joseph Alvarado, Pat DeWan, Killian Bibbs, JD Swag, Kona GT, Alex Alcazar, Matthew Nichols, Phil. We already got Ryan Davis already. Kilometers, Made of Stone 45, Blake Bailey. What a name. Blake Bailey, Paul H, Great Trollholio, Ken Abernathy. Ken Abernathy, that sounds familiar. Ken Abernathy, I think, is a turbo guy we've been tuning, messing around. So we got some people here. So I want to see what you guys do. So Clip Clop the Horse says 27 self-employed. Great Trollholio is 38 and he's a tuner. That's bullshit. Angel Jovel says 28 and a truck driver. Kilometers, 28 aircraft mechanic. Fly Ty, insurance 26. Angel Adrian, Honda Master Tech 30. Ken Abernathy 27. Jeremiah Cam 28. Anonymous King 31 truck driver. Wilson 41 construction. Isaiah 34 truck driver. Kyle Pritchett 29 work at Ford. Paul H 34 accountant and some side hustles. Good for you. K Laus 23. There's a cop in here. Said police officer 23. We got construction project manager, bring your, wow. So we got mostly mid to late 20s and sprinkle in a couple of 40-year-olds. Boosted 3.7 says 47 years old. Sectional commercial title officer. B Lighting says 43. Estimator. Killa says 43, 24. Credit union something. Interesting. Okay, cool. So at least I know that a lot of guys in their mid to late 20s, 30s and 40s. So late 20s into the 40s seems to be my key demographic when it comes to all this stuff. And everyone seems to have a whole bunch of stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of guys that are in the trades, a lot of guys that are mechanics, Honda MasterTech, Ford guy, a couple of insurance guys. So obviously they have the time to watch this show at 5 o'clock. So it'd be interesting to see air conditioning tech, a finance director. Wow. A little bit small business owner, Walmart door greeter, says Hoonigan. That's funny. HVAC tech, electrician apprentice, and Joey G 44. Porn star, says Hector Luis Menabello. And just the guys, 57 EPA. Oh, we got to talk. You're a pilot, Tim? Oh, 55 and a pilot? What's that things that people say that don't trust, or the combined age of a pilot, or the pilots piloting your aircraft should be, what, 90 years old or something like that, combined. And then that's when you know that they've had a decent amount of experience. I'm not sure exactly the age range, but yeah, look at everyone here. Andrew Harwood is 60, mechanical fitter. You're not doing manual labor, are you? That's Ryan David says law enforcement, car salesman Sam 50, heavy equipment operator E-Frame. Hunter Walker, IT help desk. Hunter Walker, you can be a tuner. Because it is the exact same thing. So this week has been circuit week. Like, okay, so if you build a car and let's say you used a crank-a pallet, right? You used a crank-a pallet from your most popular place, Mars or whatever. And you take that crank-a pallet that has a stock OEM harness and put it in your truck, car, wagon, whatever. The remaining stuff, ABS modules, everything, ABS modules, hell, the body control modules, all the wiper stuff. You say, I don't need all this stuff. I'm just gonna put it in the dash or underneath the dash and just tuck it away, and who gives a fuck? And then start the car, go to put it in drive, doesn't go in drive. You don't hook up the start wire to the PCM, so the PCM doesn't know that it's actually commanding the car to start. So there's a whole bunch of things happening to the car that it's going, wait a minute, we don't even know if the car's on. So we're going to start throwing codes. And all of a sudden, you get codes that have really nothing to do with a tuner. And unfortunately, a lot of people go, well, my tuner will just turn off the codes. Well, in the new day, that is the EPA, where they're going to shop, like, do you guys have a plan B? Like, think about that. Like, really start thinking about that if you're a shop out there. Right now, if the EPA knocks on your door right now, do you have a plan B? Because they can come in there, and if you're in the middle of turbo kit installs, blower installs, free-flowing exhaust installs, they got you. So as tuners, I can't go out there and just shutting shit off. Like, within reason, like if it's a control pack tune, Ford already shut it off for you. So if it's a control pack situation, I shouldn't have to shut anything off, right? But it's been circuit week. Shut it off. I'm like, oh my God, really? So it's been circuit week. Andrew Harbour says, yep, still manual labor, race bicycles for 34 years too. Wow. So you're a mechanical fitter and you're 60 and you're still cranking away, wrenching. God love you, bro. God love you. Garrett Celeste says 25, chassis dyno technician, Mercedes-Benz research and development. Wow, Garrett, really? How'd you get that gig? What a great gig. 25 chassis dyno technician at Mercedes-Benz research and development? Boy, that sounds fancy as fuck. Brian D says, shout out to our troops who have lost their lives today because of a failed exit strategy by the Biden administration. Congratulations on voting for that fucking dickhead. Rest in peace to the people that lost their lives today, man. I can't imagine being in that situation. I can't imagine being in that situation where you know your commander-in-chief is super fucked. Sorry to get political. You know he's super fucked. and he is not looking out for America's best interest. I'm sorry. And today was pretty much the worst day they've had in years, and it sucks. It's awful. So rest in peace, and shout out to the people that's still holding it down there. It's awful. I don't even want to talk about it because honestly, it pisses me off, and I get on that tangent and I just lose my fucking shit. So I'm trying to be good about it. I'm trying not to have a coronary, because today was, between the tuning cue and then the political stuff, I try to disconnect, because if not, you literally cannot have a life. 59, work at a self-checkout at Walmart. Liar. 41, console operator, Shell Oil. What is that? What's a console operator? Omar Gerardo. 31, Maine, CNC machinist. Desert 1320. 29, novice YouTuber. That's okay, though, because if you can make a little bit of money on that, it all of a sudden becomes pretty sustainable money. The only problem is, Desert 1320, if the only way you grow is if you spend money. And that's the difficult part. That's the difficult thing that I'm having right now. So we got, wish I was at liberty to elaborate. Wish I was at liberty to elaborate, says Nick Vasquez. Got it. Austin Maynard says, I'm a service and repair tech 28. Told manager at Ford, I don't want a job due to my engine issue. Got it. Great Trollholio says, can't believe Alex don't think I'm a tuner. Your name is Great Trollholio. Tell me who you tune for. Tell me what platform you use to tune. Tell me what kind of cars you tune. Tell me your real name. I don't think that'll happen. Coyote IS300 says, hey, Uncle Alex, I have an extra Gen 2 6R80 with a brand new control pack from PBH. How much can I sell everything for? You'd have to, usually it doesn't matter if it's brand new in the box or whatever. Once it's in your hands, it's considered to be used. So I don't think you can get what they ask for, but do your best. But anyway, how many of you guys, how many of you guys considered getting an F-150 after seeing what the PBH F-150 can do? I understand you guys see all those other F-150s racing, running great numbers, and it makes you go super badass, right? Wow, those things are capable of crazy stuff. But then you look at Power by the Hour's F-150 and you go, it's a street truck. It is 100% street. Not looking to go max effort. Nothing against people that are, but not looking to go max effort. Something you can use every day. Sounds pretty good. The exhaust is coming out the back. And you can literally have a drivable, nice, livable, 600+ horsepower F-150 truck. How many of you saw that and went, man, imagine a Super Crew version of that? Imagine a Super Crew version of that F-150. Well, guess what? Jake is going to come out with kits for all body configurations. It's not just going to be for RCSB, regular cab, short bed. It's going to be for crew cab. It's going to be all the popular configurations. So Super Crew, short bed, and regular cab. And I don't know if they have like an extended cab. I don't know if they have like a cab and a half anymore. I think they just went right to Super Crew, as far as I know. And I'm talking about, actually, that kit, because it's for speed density trucks, should be able to work on all 15 to 2020 trucks. Speed density, everything, same configuration, body, everything. Now, two-wheel drive trucks might have even an easier time of routing the piping. But how many of y'all saw that and went, oh my God, that thing is badass? Now, people are asking, can you do that to a Mustang? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's enough room underneath in a Mustang. It's pretty tight down there, really tight. So to have a big single way towards the back of the car and then have enough pipe room to route everything coming forward, I think it's going to be really difficult. And Jake, I don't even think wants to even try to bother with it, because it was a bit of a routing issue getting the cold side over to, to the motor. Remember, it's got to go in the intercooler, back down into the motor. So Jake's like, I'm not really looking to make this a Mustang thing, because there's so many Mustang kits out there that just to jump in there again doesn't make sense. They got On 3, Hellion, Aldo, Armageddon via Paramount. You got Manuel's kits. You got a little bit of everything. So it's kind of difficult just to stand out like that. So I don't think he's going to go after that. But everyone's like, yeah, I'm very tempted to get a 19 F-150 Super Crew short bed. Can't wait for the Super Crew. One is at Power by the Hour today. It got dropped off today. Frank Pezzo, who works at Power by the Hour, believes in the business and says, fuck it. Let me get a Super Crew version of my truck, because he had an EcoBoost truck, a 2.7 EcoBoost. And he's like, if that kit makes the power I think is going to make, then I'm in. He saw that it made power and said, you know what? I'm ordering one. So he found one like in Alabama somewhere, Super Crew with that dark red color, 5 liter, So now Jake is going to configure a kit for that. So that's awesome. So once the vetting is done on the red truck, once it comes to towing, gate pressure, pump gas tuning, you guys could probably get 52s, 47s, 8 pounds of boost, or maybe 6.5 pounds of boost, make 650 plus, and be happy as hell in your turbo truck that you do not touch any emissions components. Guys, you do not touch any emissions components. Everything is after the catalytic converters, and that's the allure of the kit. So tomorrow I'll be on the dyno fucking around. But Alex, which one would you recommend? I would do the Super Crew. In my opinion, if you want, basically the Super Crew is the modern station wagon. Everybody that has the F-150 is the highest selling vehicle, I think, still to this day in the United States. Not highest selling truck, highest selling vehicle. So if you can grab a Super Crew short bed V8 truck, shove a turbo in it, that is basically a turbo catback, and make 650 to 700 on pump gas, how can you not like that shit? How can you not like that shit? Mr. Shelby says, channel support, did you see the video? Tesla Plaid versus 2020 GT500. Gap the shit out of it. Just like I said it would. Gapped the ever-living shit out of it. At 60% battery. Just like I said it would. George Chitara says, we'll be 24 in October, working construction. And Alex, how much power is too much for street driving in a Viper? I don't know how Vipers hook, but seeing what I've seen, 6, 7, 8, 900, those things seem to hook up depending on the tire package. So I don't think 900 is unattainable and undrivable in a Viper. And let's be honest, if you have a Viper, you got to make 1,000. If not, you're a bitch, right? Like, people are going to think you're a fucking bitch if you only make 1,000 if you only make 900 in a Viper. Why doesn't it make 1,000 when you turn it up? Those motors supposedly are super stout. And even the clutches, after seeing Frank, I think it was a guy named Frank in Miami, who now owns a McLaren, and he had a orange Viper out there gapping a lot of cars. He used to go by the name Driver Mod on that racing channel. And that thing had a stock clutch, and like a 400 shot nitrous kit. Wild Horse says, made 1,000 wheel on log manifolds, to hell with headers. Well, think about it. How much will it make with headers? I can say to I can do this. I can go, I'm going to go all out NA on the truck, all out NA, and still not lose the value of the all out NA effort, because I can retain the headers and white pipe and just put a turbo catback on it. So I probably should do that in my truck. I should go as 11's NA is probably the goal in the truck, right? That's not super fast, but it's pretty fast. And then go, hey, I went max effort and I got some headers or shorties and a high flowing mid pipe with cats, because that's the plan. Why not throw turbos in it? Because I didn't have to waste my NA effort with the turbo stuff. I don't have to take them out and put on 3 stuff or anyone else's shit. You can just after the cat and be happy. Anderson Little's 41 construction company owner, Tacuache, says, and Jared Wells says, you can literally have that turbo kit on in just a few hours, take it to a shop, you have a turbo truck the same day. Yep. Jake thinks it'll take a good tech probably 8 hours. I'm saying the whole thing, fuel system, blah, 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 blah. But if you're not using a fuel system, but you have to run the oil lines, because you have to, the oil, there's a reservoir tank you got to put in, oil, a scavenging pump, reservoir tank, all that stuff to feed oil to the turbo. Remember, you got to feed oil to the turbo. Probably 8 hours tops. If you're not doing a fuel system. If you're doing a fuel system, that's all different. Play some Canelo en arriba a las mamalonas, says Mike Bravo. Relax. Cálmate. Oh my God. He's coming in a little too high power. He's coming in a little. Where's too high power? He's coming a little too high power.
Check this out, fool. You coming a little too high power.
Rowdy 50. Alex, did you daily your black Mustang in the winter when you lived up here? Yes. There's a picture of me on Facebook somewhere with the car lowered on H&R Springs and snow all over the motherfucker. I'm saying snow everywhere. And people, would complain about rainstorms in Florida and, oh my God, the rain here sucks. And I'm just like, I've driven my Mustang in the snow for like 3 years. And when I drove with drag radials in the rain the other day, People were like, oh, rest in peace, Alex is going to crash that car. I'm like, I'm not going to crash the car. It's exactly like driving in the snow with, regular like Pirellis or whatever. It's exactly like it. So a lot of people, lose their mind, lose their shit when it comes to driving in the rain with drag radials. And honestly, as long as you don't go really, really fast, you should be okay. But some people are fucking stupid. Some people are retarded. Some people want to just go out there and, run like they're like they're fine. And the moment they hit a puddle, they lose their fucking shit. Like they absolutely, here it is right here. Bam. Boy, look at me. Yep. So here we go. Here's the black Mustang right here. I used to drive that sucker all the time in the snow, bro. That thing was so legit. And it was actually really good in the snow. I really didn't have issues with that car in the snow, like at all. Cuban Coyote, he's a Chrysler salesman. 24. Damn, you're young. I thought you were older. Not to say you look older, but he comes across like an adult. Also, shout out to Terry for the killer deal on the 1440s. Can't wait to get back out there. Lund for the win. I told Cuban, you might be running out of injector. You got two 274s. You shouldn't be running out of injector. He goes, I got stock rails and 1000s. I'm like, time to step it up. Time to step it up. And he did. So I'm hoping, I already sent him the tune, that once he gets the car back and does a test hit, fuel trims are happy and he can go out and race people and not worry about it. Jeremiah says, watch the Plaid gap the GT500 last Friday at a test and tune. It wasn't close. Like, I don't care what y'all say. That shit wasn't close. It wasn't close. The Plaid fucked up that GT500. Killer says, I'm a humble man. Anything over 700 horsepower is fast. It is fast, 100%. 1017 was insane. Any way you look at it, stock block F150. Some people were doubting it. We had a couple of people call us out and say, what's the correction factor? And I'm like, you know what? Shit, maybe they're right. And I put up the uncorrected numbers to Jake, and it was 1.7% correction. Now 30% like pump gas twin turbo people like to do. Oh, I made 1,000 on pump gas. What's the correction factor? 38%. Oh, so it's a 700 horsepower pump gas car. Cool. Awesome. Can confirm I was not an adult at 24. Shit. The multiple images on TV behind you is trippy. That's the thing. So you see the delay. So when I wave my arm, you'll see how long of a delay that is. That means by the time I see your shit and answer it, it takes that long. And I'm still looking. Still, yeah, there's like, it's like Inception, right? It's like, I should put it behind me one of these days. Like right behind me. It'd be real fucked up. Actually, if I do it correct enough, I can see the beginning of the show by the end of the show. That'll be interesting if I could do that. It was a bust. DIY Sean. Nokia knows rocket. Okay, well, I have a question. I can't figure out the issue on an 18 Mustang 10-speed with twin turbo Hellion sleeper kit when it was stock engine and trans. It was 730 horsepower in dyno. Changed oil pump and he's gone. And crank sprocket and installed clutches and valve body and all that for more boost. And the car dropped maybe 40 horsepower instead of increasing. Nothing wrong with it. Trans idle spool cruising. No horsepower. You installed. What did you install? Crank sprocket and installed clutches and a valve body. Maybe your clutches are dragging, right? Maybe they're too tight. I mean, did you check the fluid level? Did you make sure everything was legit? You shouldn't lose horsepower when you install clutches on a Gen 3, in my opinion. Like at all. Question is, goals around 700 wheel horsepower and a 15 Mustang GT MT82. What would you do for a supercharger? Car is stock. Looking for a VMP Gen 3R Odin, but not set yet. Any recommendation? Look, any blower will get you there. Any blower will get you a 700 wheel. Pump gas, I'm not a big fan of 700 on pump gas. The only cars that make about 700 on pump gas are GT350s. I'm not saying that you can't make 700 on pump gas on a GT, but it is less safe. The GT350 has a higher revving engine, bigger displacement, 5.2, and it just is happy as shit. And with 8 pounds of boost, that bitch makes like 740, 750 pump gas. Happy as hell. And with timing, like 10 pounds of boost on a GT350 or 8 or 9 pounds makes close to like high 700s, 800. Today, Rami Zaidan at 2 Auto Solution in Puerto Rico put an Odin in a GT350 and it made 813 railroad horsepower on 10 PSI. I mean, it all depends on, any blower can get you there, but I really don't want to shoot for 700 horsepower on pump gas. It's just not safe in my opinion on a GT. It's a little more safe, I guess, on a GT350 based on the displacement and the revs. Turn on dark mode. Too bright. I mean, on this thing, is there a dark mode? Oh, let me see. Is there a dark mode? Let me see. No. Top chat. No. How do you turn on dark mode? Let me know how I turn on dark mode on this shit. I don't know. Is there a theme up here? Settings. YouTube, your channel. Appearance. Device theme. Dark theme. All right. There you go. You got it. Too bright. Got it. Nailed it. 10 already Allen's in the house. Boosted 10 already says, hey, Alex, I was data logging for my bass tune. And it threw a check engine light. Low oil pressure code A10 Odin. It's probably the oil pressure configuration. So if it's a non-performance package car, you got sent the performance package tune. If it's or the other way around. So just do the data logs. Don't worry about the oil pressure, and then let us know in the data log that it has an oil pressure light. But it won't affect the engine. It won't affect anything. It won't affect fueling. Just let us know that it has a check engine light. Where's the Street Fighter at? Street Fighter's there. It's chilling. I have the regulator set at 65 and 45. That's fine. 10 or 80. Boosting 10 or 80. That's fine. 45 PSI on the port side and DI 65 set locked in. No boost reference. You should be good to go. Cowie-Septicon is a president of sales at a pharmaceutical. So Cowie-Septicon probably makes $300,000 a year. Good for you. Cowie-Septicon is a president of sales at a pharma company. Shout out to you, $300,000 high value man. Good for you. Israel Rio says the 28 tax account. I'm gapping full between meeting my clients throughout the day. Miguel Marin says, hey, Alex, I just did some SBO on some bolt-ons on my F150 and free-flowing exhaust. With a no tune required cold air, do you recommend sending over a data log? See, no cold air requires data logging. There's speed density. The fueling is done or adjusted by the MAP sensor, MAP, in the manifold. You could literally take the cold air out and throw it in the garbage, and this thing will fuel properly. Will it make proper power? Probably not. But I don't think you need anything. Send a data log over. We'll see if the O2s are acting up, but if it's speed density and cold air data doesn't matter, you should be good to go. But he did say a 5.0 F150. But Miguel Marin, what year F150? I'm sorry. If it's a Gen 2, Gen 3 F150, it's speed density. If it's a Gen 1, yeah, you're going to have to send us some data logs just to make sure it's happy. Someone's like, y'all smell that? I know what he's trying to get at.
Ah, this smells like jelly beans.
Loving the Infinity Stream, exactly. What wheels you thinking for the F-150? I already got those. Those are the wheels for the F-150, guys. See how many lug? The bolt pattern, it's 6 lug. So it's got to get the tires and throw them on there. But it'd be really, I'd look really stupid with race stars on a NA F-150. Like, what am I doing? Maybe do it to stunt. Nigga, look at this. Performance package, appearance package. Like, why the hell you got 315s in the back of an NA F-150? I'm like, oh, because I'm fucking gay. Leo R says, is there a difference between a ported CJ and a non-ported CJ? Yes. One of them is ported. It could be one of those days. We'll see. Miguel Marin says, sorry, Gen 1 F-150. Yes, Miguel Marin. Send this in data log just to make sure everything's running good. Salvador Cortez says, 25 years old, Allstate insurance sales agent. If you were to talk to your 25-year-old self or 20-something-year-old, what advice would you give for a good life later? You want good advice for 20-something-year-olds? Don't build a race car. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That delayed everything. Building a race car and getting into the motorsports hobby delayed me getting a house, getting financially secure. It took me well into my 30s to feel financially secure. Whereas in my 20s, I should have just been stacking paper. I should have just been working, keeping my head down, staying in shape. Do not get fat, 25-year-old self. you get in a relationship, you get chubby, you start going to cookouts, your girlfriend's just feeding you, and you become a fat guy. So don't get fat, number one. Number two, do not get into cars until you're financially able to do it comfortably. Because if you blow up your motor and you're just relying on credit cards and credit, it's going to ruin you. You're going to have $20,000 to $30,000 in debt in your 20s, and you're going to be working it off. And one day you're going to wake up and you're 40 and you're going to look down and go, this was from when I built the Mustang 10 years ago. So don't build Mustangs. If you're going to buy a Mustang, put a cold air in it and just drive it. That's the most difficult thing to do. And I get it. I've been there, done that. The only time I started going decently quick when I was starting to get sponsored. And that's when all of a sudden I started really going quicker than normal. But before that, I was a broke boy. And I wasn't, and you know why I was broke? Because I was building Fox bodies, building race cars, fucking around, doing that dumb shit. By the time I got into the Coyote, I was pretty broke. So don't get into cars heavy at that age. Do you plan on making any hits on the red F-150 in the quarter? Yes, Desert 1320, not at the track. That truck probably will never see the track. Why? It's four-wheel drive. It can make draggy hits anywhere. So Jake and I were talking about it. He goes, why go to the track? I can just do draggy hits. And I said, what would be impressive? He goes, nines on the street. I go, yep, you're right. If that thing goes nines on the street, certifiable. It doesn't have to it doesn't have to be the fastest. There's 8-second trucks out there. Cool. This is not geared for the racer. This is geared for the guy that wants a everyday driver, nothing hacked up with emission stuff, and just be able to turn it up and have fun, have a 9-second truck that's a legitimate street truck. If you want a race truck, this shit's probably not for you. Now, someone's probably going to use his kit and use it as a race kit and throw 20 plus PSI at it. A two-wheel drive guy, or maybe lighten it up. He can do that. That's fine. But the kit is being designed mostly for street driving. It has the capability of making almost 1,100 horsepower, as you saw. I mean, it can do it, but that's not the whole thought process around that. Desert 1320 says, don't build any car. Seriously, don't build any car. 24, about to graduate as a mechanical engineer, head of R&D at data at FIC, Fuel Injector Clinic, and trying to build a race car. Yep, he's doing it all wrong. Love him. He's doing it all wrong, but he'll be okay. Alstomata said, lost 70 pounds, got the fat part out of the way. Yeah, you look skinny. You look good. I'd fuck you. I'd fuck the shit out of you. Any idea the max tire size on a 1910 wide rim, 305, 315? You could do 315, but it's going to round off. So 305, 45, 17 seems to be the way to go. Unless you're talking like a street tire. You know what I mean? Like a ET Street SS, like a 305, 35, 19 or something like that. Jared Wells says, not to get personal, but how much was you making at 25 around my age? $45,000 to $50,000 a year remember, I'm 43 years old. So that was almost 20 years ago. So that was 2000. Like I remember when 9/11 happened, and I remember I was working at a dock at the airport and making like 38.5 or 40 a year. And it sucked. I made no money. And then I had to quit that job because once 9/11 happened and shut down the airports for like weeks, we were pretty much out of business. And I said, okay, I got to do something else. I bounced around, got a couple of jobs. And then my old boss hired me as a millwright to start working on industrial pumps at power plants, water filtering plants, high-rise buildings. And that's when I started making close to $50,000, $55,000, almost $60,000. Everyone hit that like button. 294 people on, 127 likes. Don't know what the fuck's wrong with you people. All I asked was for likes, and y'all motherfuckers lazy. That F-150 is awesome. That setup is going to be worth buying. I think so. And Jake believes in it, and I believe in Jake so much that the reason I bought the F-150, guys, wasn't because I wanted to race trucks. I think it's stupid, right? But I want to support my friend. And a lot of people are doing stupid things and racing trucks. So if my friend is going to build a turbo kit, and I have the ability to rep his turbo kit through this medium, why not do that? So that's how much I believe in my friend's kit and in his ability. If Jake was able to sit down and not tend to the business as much, because look, his business is booming and he has to be super involved in it, the guy could build the best everything's anywhere. That's how much I believe in Jake's ability. He's borderline genius, okay? The guy can build a 6-second Mustang, no problem. But there is no money in that. There is no rep in that. There is no business model in that. It is all nut swinging, right? The guy with transmissions is a fucking genius. But he's like, I don't really need to go all out max effort. I can just do what I got to do and make money. And got to take care of the family, got to take care of employees, got to take care of himself. So he's like, there's no reason to do max effort anything because there is no money in it. Just like the NA game. A lot of you guys are out there seeing stuff on Instagram, seeing stuff, guys go really fast NA. There's probably 5 of those guys. 5. Like really fast NA guys. So do you think certain businesses are going to stop what they're doing and get after the NA game when 5 guys are super badass max effort? Or do you want to be in the 90% of people that want 650 horse and drive their car everywhere with AC on pump gas? Jake's not dumb. Jake knows where the money is at. Kilometer says, what are your thoughts on SVE wheels? Are they below poverty stars? Oh, yeah. I can get them for essentially free and need a second step for the track. Justin Jordan went 7s on SVEs, so I got no issue with SVE wheels. People have gone 7s on race stars. People have gone 7s on JMSs. So if it fits your budget and you like how they look, get them. I don't care. But they are poverty, 100%. Would the PBH F150 turbo kit work with a stock fuel system? 2019 F150 now look for a lot of power, just enough to party. Yes. So let's say you want to stay on pump gas. You give it 6 to 7 PSI. Put some 47s or 52s in it, okay? And then a boosted pump just to make sure the stock fuel pump is good. I guarantee that's what we're going to test tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be pump gas. And understand, guys, a fuel system on pump gas does not give it more power. It gives it more fuel. So if a stock fuel pump can support 700, 750 in terms of flow, and the octane is there, a stock fuel system with injectors and that turbo kit and maybe a boosted pump probably can support close to 700 horsepower. So tomorrow is what we're going to do. Is we're going to put on the dyno and see what it makes on pump gas with the base file, 15, maybe 16 degrees. I'm going to say, Jake, keep turning it up until the knock sensors complain. And if he's able to get high 6s, low 7s, that kit is a winner. Maniac got some 50 says, Alex, for Innovations rails and twin 267 pumps, it's kind of small. And 1050X injectors, I needed 5 packs and 16 PSI. Do you think I'd ever have fuel issues if I had 100 nitrous? Gen 1, Gen 2, or Gen 3? I don't think you'll have issues. No. 267s, I prefer 274s just in case. But 267s, 1050X injectors, 16 PSI, and 100 shot of nitrous, I think you'll be okay on fuel. The injector might be an issue, though. Bam. But the nitrous might make up for what the injector is lacking, but the injector has no way of knowing that you're shoving nitrous in it. That'll be interesting. I'd get 274s just to be happy. Matt Colenda, MSC two-step review. Two-step review? You want me to review a two-step? Did you just say you want me to review a two-step? Got to keep mama happy, says Angel Jovel. Friends support friends, Alex. They're all covered in the waste underneath. I don't know what's happening there. Is there anything I can do to improve the shift feel on my 1950 MT82 D4 trans? It grinds a little, sometimes feels loose. Daily driver, completely stock. Bullet. A shifter is going to get you some more NVH. Like everyone's going to get, buy an MGW shifter. Okay, so then what happens when you buy an MGW shifter? You're going to hear everything that's going on in the transmission. It's going to whine a little bit. It's going to rattle a little bit. And a Barton. Any aftermarket shifter is going to make some noise and rattle. But it'll definitely feel better. Feel better. If it's clunking and grinding, that means your clutch is not disengaging properly, in my opinion. So aside from a shifter and making sure you have enough fluid in the clutch reservoir, there's not much you can do to improve the shifter feel. Some idiot is going to tell you to get an American Muscle stainless steel braided line. They're going to tell you to remove. I removed the helper spring. The first thing I do on all manuals is I remove the helper spring in a heartbeat. How would you feel about a all-wheel drive 5.0 Mustang? Look, I would love for Ford on the way out. Actually, there is an all-wheel drive Mustang, but not 5.0. I think Ford will never introduce an all-wheel drive 5-liter Mustang. I just don't think they'll do it. I think what they'll do is they'll probably do a hybrid or something. Like, man, this is bright as shit. I think they'll probably do a hybrid before they do an all-wheel drive 5-liter. They'll probably do a 3.5 or 2.7 or 3.0 EcoBoost with an electric motor. I think it would be awesome, but I don't think they'll do it. I just don't think they'll do it because what's the price point of that? What's the price point of an all-wheel drive 5+100 horsepower Mustang? $65,000, $70,000? I don't know. I don't think that'll happen. And most motherfuckers roll race anyway. Like if you were to talk to 25-year-old Alex, if 43-year-old Alex talks to 25-year-old Alex and says, by the way, men in the future are going to have babies suck on their tits, hoping that they can get milk out of it.
The baby has been able to latch, but I've not been able to produce any milk. That's okay.
And guys are going to roll race a lot. 25-year-old Alex would have said, shoot me in the fucking face, future Alex. Shoot me in the fucking face. You mean guys are going to roll race? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, future, past Alex, young Alex, motherfuckers are going to put trumpet intakes on their cars and remove their hoods. And I'm going to be like, yeah, fucking shoot me. Fucking shoot me. I don't want to live in that future. Well, we're in it, so we're fucked. Any update on the ESS supercharger kit? No update. I was going to run a 100 shot on my Paxton car, but will probably just end up going turbo, says Alberto. Take the clutch pedal spring out, Ariel Morales. And yes, I agree with that. I have twin 285s, though, which are 525 or 535. You said 267s. Unless that's somebody else. Yeah, 285s are massive. They're big. You're good to go. Saludos desde Puerto Rico. Mi pana, says Memo. All-wheel drive 5.0 would be sick, but would never happen. Would never happen. A Lily 55261 says, Barton shifter vibrates like crazy at higher RPMs. Is this normal? Yep. Welcome to the world of aftermarket shifters. Everyone thinks a shifter is going to be quiet, but still have super positive engagement going into gear. No. You want it to feel mechanical? It's going to feel rattle and everything mechanical. It's just how it is. What do you suggest for a 14.62 Raptor? The best thing to do for a 14.62 Raptor, actually, I had a customer do this the other day. He goes, hey, man, what do you think what if you had a 14.62 Raptor, what would you do? I go, well, actually, what I would do is I'd get in it, put it in drive, and drive to the nearest Dodge dealership and trade it in for a TRX. Alex, you should set a blood pressure monitor during the peasant check. I can do that. I'd have to have it on, and I'd have to have like a counter or like, have it be like live, and then you guys can see how fucking pissed off I'm getting. Which I don't want to see my blood pressure because I'm going to start freaking out. I'll probably die of a heart attack here, and that'll be probably the best show I ever make if I die of a heart attack on this show. Robosal says, I'm a welder, late 40s. Good for you. Good for you. All-wheel drive Mustang is the F-150, as close as you'll get. That's the thing. The F-150 in Gen 3 finally came with the same compression that the Mustang did. And that made it really desirable because you can make really good power. And Jake was like, if these F-150s run good like I think they can, then I'm going to build a turbo kit for them. Boom. All of a sudden he said, hey, find me one. I found him one at Tasca Ford, shipped it down, and he started partying with it. I love it. Orale Home said Blue 99, and Killian Bibbs likes it. Nick Santarpia says, my car makes all the noises. Stage 3 Caliber MTD2, aftermarket shifter, all solid joints in the rear end, right? You go over a pothole, you go over a gravel driveway, it sounds like a Fox body. But that's what you need. That's what you need to make those cars run well. Heartbeat monitor. Yeah, blood pressure. Yeah, heartbeat monitor would be better than a blood pressure monitor. How do you fucking put a blood pressure? Yeah, I can do a heart. I'll look into it. A lot of roll racing. Eliza says, Alex, gonna boost here soon, and I'll get the same calibrated Dakota or a different calibrator. You can request to stay with Dakota. Usually they keep it with the same calibrator. Sometimes a customer gets mad because they think that they've been fired by the tuner, and that's not the case. So let's say, for instance, you buy a NA tune from Lund Racing and you get Dakota and you do everything, E85, the whole 9 yards, and all of a sudden you're happy as shit, and then you go, let me get a blower on this thing. But it's been 3 or 4 months. All of a sudden, out of the blue, you upgrade to a remote session and they reassign it to the tuners, and it is not always the common practice that you're gonna get the same tuner. Sometimes another tuner will get it. And you know how I know is how the tune is named. We all name our tunes a little differently. You know what I mean? So, but we all tune the exact same method that Junior wants us to tune with. Alex, is the 5.0 going away? Joe Daniel, everything that I know has not told me that the 5.0 is going away yet. I've seen different variants, twin throttle body, twin cold air 5.0s. They already got displacement on demand on the F150. Supposedly someone's able to tune it now, which is basically a Ford ProCal, which literally looks like an iPad on your car. Like literally looks like an iPad on your car. Yeah, the tuner of the future. And you're like, it's as big as a fucking iPad. So the screen's not really good resolution, and I'm just like, it's a Ford ProCal. You guys remember what the original Ford ProCal looked like, right? Like, do you guys remember what Ford was actually trying to sell you as a tuner back in the day? It was hilarious. Let me see. Yeah, look at this shit. What the fuck is this? I mean, imagine you order this and it shows up in the mail and you open up the fucking thing and you're like,
hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
What can I do with it? I don't know. You can yeah, look at that. It's sick. Oh my God. It's innovative. And now they've come out with this, which is as equally dull. Oh, look at this innovation. Oh man, this is so amazing. Wow, man. Look at all the analog inputs you can put in there. You know, all those analog input. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Ford, what's wrong with you, Ford? What are you doing offering that fucking hunk of shit? What's wrong with you, ColecoVision having ass? Fuck out of here, man. Stop it, Ford. Love you. Stop it. Chris Young became a Puti level member. Appreciate you, sir. Connor said, here's some channel support for the rough day on Tuesday. Love the show. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tuesday fucking sucked. Tuesday was awful. John D says, hey, Alex, you tuned my 2015 6R80 nitrous car. Finally getting it to the track tomorrow. Do you recommend spraying through the shifts? Where would you set the window? I'd spray through the shifts. Spray through the shifts. 10R80 cars are different. 10R80s need more pressure added to them. 6R80 cars, they don't give a fuck what's happening. They just work. So spray through the shifts. If you shift at 7,300, set that fucking thing above it so it doesn't shut off between the shifts. A 5.0 with 2 throttle bodies, you can buy 2 ported throttle bodies. I had a customer, thank goodness. I had a customer go, hey, Alex, I got a P2112 code. I'm like, oh, throttle body stuck open code? He goes, yep. I go, did you port your throttle body? He goes, how'd you know? I'm like, do you have another one? He goes, yep. Put it on with the same tune. Ta-da. No issue. And he's like, how do you prevent a failsafe? I'm like, wait a minute. Think about it. You put a stock throttle body in it and it didn't failsafe. But then you put a ported throttle body in it and it failsafed. So if the guy who ported it tells you that it needs tuning, he's fucking on crack. Okay, Porter, tell me what changes I need to make to the tune to prevent it from getting stuck open. Oh, take it to another tuner. That's what they say. That's what they say, guys. Take it to another tuner. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I'm like, okay, got it. Heart rate monitor support. Heart rate monitor support. Thank you very much. I'm going to do that. Oilfield, 38 years old. Dustin Kemp. He must be listening way early. Hey, Alex, have you seen any tunes brick a PCM of a 2020 GT? Not a tune, but I've seen what people do is interrupt a tune mid-flash. So what that means is you're tuning it. Everything's good. And you fuck with the N-gauge or whatever device you're using. You get out of it and you tap the OBD fucking thing. Boop, disconnects. What I do when I tune something, I get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle, initiate the tune and go for a walk or something. Like, do not interrupt the shift. A tune. Or a flash. It'll absolutely brick it. That's the only thing I've seen brick it. Now, if you're tuned by someone else that is messing with e-quizzers and stuff like that in the tune, that might cause an issue with not necessarily bricking the computer, but it causing a no-start condition. My hobby is Dodge Elephant 1000 horsepower versus Dodge Demon 840. You're my kind of wait. Adrian Frank says my hobby is Dodge Elephant 1000 horse versus Dodge Demon 840 horsepower. You are kind. My respect. Agree. Things to all my friends. Area 51. Wow, he said a mouthful. You guys going to World Cup finals? Probably not. Probably not, because they used to live, Lund Racing used to live up there. But now we live down here. Everyone in Lund Racing lives in Florida. So we're probably going to go to Florida 2K. They're probably going to go to ModNats. I don't want to go to anything. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like done with racing until I give a fuck again. Right now, you ask Alex right now, you going to ModNats? Fuck no. You going to Florida 2K? Maybe, just to check it out. But if it's a bad spectator event, I'll bring my ass back. Tune around my valve float issues, Corey Leckby. Oh my God, you know people have actually said that, Corey Leckby? You don't know how to tune blah, blah, blah kit? Well, you got to set the intake kit. Whoa. It's floating. Yeah, duh, big deal. Just tune it. I'm like, tune valve float? I've literally heard people say that. So I just like want to give up. Like today I had a guy fucking pissing and moaning. And I'm just like, I can't. You want me to tune around circuit codes, man? Circuit codes. Alex, my Gen 1 ended up being totaled. Should I get a Gen 2 or Gen 3? I know you're not a fan of the 10R80s. It's going to be NA and my daily Gen 2. Gen 2, Gen 2, Gen 2, Gen 2. Gen 3 is the quickest of the three. Let's get that out of the way because of the 10R80, the better compression, better valves, better cams, better motor. But I don't like the 10R80 because that's what probably you're going to get. And the 10R80 to me just doesn't drive as good, crisp, and as smooth when you're just driving around like a normal person than the 6R80. I own both. Guys, I own a 10R80 truck and I own a 6R80 S550. And 6R80 by far, like way by far than a 10R80. In terms of drivability. I got that. Nissan and Infiniti Boys been buying oversized throttle bodies for $2,000 when all said and done. Doesn't make any additional power. Laugh my ass off. Mustang racers will do the same. I'm going to do some videos coming up pretty soon with the red car that I think you guys would be interested in. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, obviously the cold air stuff is going to happen. Bustelo can versus a Steeda intake versus a stock Gen 3 housing. Right? Not going to piss anyone off. I think the Steeda one probably make more power out of all of them, but fuck it. Let's just do it. Then I'm going to see if spark plug gap matters. I'm going to make a hit with 50 thousandths gap, then go 45, make a hit, 40, make a hit, 30, 35, make a hit. Because I see a lot of people asking about spark plugs and spark plug gap naturally aspirated. And then, you know what I want to do? I want to take bone stock spark plugs at 50,000 gap, go watt on the dyno, and then put a set of E3 spark plugs in it and see if it makes a goddamn fucking difference. And if it does, I'll show it. If it doesn't, I'll show it. I think that'll be fun. Fun shit. Corey like me talking all that shit. Anthony, unplug it while it's uploading. Oh, I uploaded it and it killed my car. Lund sucks. I'm gonna dunnel. Dude, I had people do that. My car bricked. My tuner's not available at 3 a.m. I want a tuner that's available at 3 a.m. What'd you do? I stepped out of the car and my slushy almost fell out of my hand. And I hit the OBD2. Oh, so you fucked up. So now it's my problem that you fucked up. And you're mad that I'm not available when you want me to be available? Come on, stop it, bro. Stop it. Good morning, Andres Martinez. Guys, I got about 7 minutes left, so get your questions in. It's an hour show on the dailies. 334 people watching. Badass shit. Love my 2015 PBH built 6R80. Guys, 6R80s are just smoother, period. When you drive a 10R80, a vehicle, it only feels good in sport mode. It only feels good in sport mode. In regular drive, where it does the best fuel economy, torque converter's a little different, it flares and skip shifts and it bucks and it neutrals out for no reason. I took a left turn on my truck the other day and it neutraled out. I'm like, why did it do that? And I remember it did it stock. And I'm like, man, fuck this 10R80. Eliza says, yes, make that video. I am. That's the plan because that's easy. Once it cools down, I'll just spend a Saturday on the dyno, bring a couple spark plugs, couple of cold airs, and just rag the motherfucker out on the dyno to get you guys content. What fuel should I put in my standalone tank for 150 shot pump gas? C16, something with a similar stoic. So if you guys run pump gas in your main fuel tank and you want a high octane fuel in your standalone fuel system for your nitrous kit, Run a fuel that has similar stoic but higher octane. I repeat, run a fuel that has similar stoic but higher octane. Pump gas in the tank, C16, C10. I don't know about MS109. It's 13.3, but I don't think that's terrible. But I prefer like C16 or something like that. Something that has a similar stoic, 14.7, 14.0. MS109 is 13.3, so keep it there. I've heard people say, hey, Alex, I got E85 in the main tank, and I'm going to put C16 in the standalone. What do you think about that? I'm like, that's really fucking stupid. What? Yeah. There we go. But what do you mean, Alex? Doesn't C16 have more octane than E85? I'm like, no, bro. Like, it's different stoic. It's 985 versus 4. Oh, but I really think, Alex, I have a feeling. I got a feeling that it'll perform really well. So just hear me out, bro. I'm going to try it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, genius. Have at it. Go ahead. Hey, Alex, can you mind looking the tune over real quick because car blew up? Oh, car blew up. You're running 985 stoic fuel in the main tank and 14.7 stoic fuel in the standalone fuel system. Oh, yeah. And you want me to look the tune over? Yup, that's right. That's right. I want you to look the tune over. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Go fuck your mother. What? Yeah, go fuck your mother. Yeah. That's my advice as a tuner. Go fuck your mom. Okay. I'll hit you up when I get my motor in. Fucking idiot, bro. Hey, Alex, what do you think? I saw a guy go really fast on M5, so just hear me out. I got 985 stoic fuel in the tank, and I want to put M5 in the standalone fuel system for the nitrous. Sir, that's 5 stoic. Hear me out. I got a feeling. You know how many times I've heard that? I'm a scientist. Shut up. Stop. Tuning doesn't care about emotions, right? Tuning goes by data. So if you go, I really think you should do this, I'm going to go, I really think you should shut the fuck up. You sound like Keanu Reeves in Point Break. That was a great movie. One Piece Drive Shaft for K member. Can't afford only one of them for my roll racing. One Piece Drive Shaft. Azaze, because it's rolling mass. So I'd rather do it. If you're out of those two, rolling. Rotating mass. Sorry. That's the one to get. This hat actually fits pretty good for being a flat brim thing. Got it from some motorcycle guy at Hail Mary Derby. Good guy. I have some stock plugs for my Gen 2 2,000 miles if you want them for the video. Just went to Boost Remove. Now I'll buy this shit. It's all good. They're cheap. I'll buy them. It's all good. How many nitrous customers fix the lean spike on the hit? Well, Yonsei, this is what I like about some of the customers that have really good mechanical ability. They end up playing with the jetting, and I like that. I'm okay with that. Let's say you do a hit and the lean spike hits and then it comes down and gets really fat. Well, I say, well, adjust the fuel jet, adjust the nitrous jet, or adjust the ramp when it comes in, And I had a gentleman, Arthur Randall, cornbread from Louisiana. He was one of the first guys that actually said this to me. He goes, hey, man, I got me a nitrous fox and I think I could, the fuel trims are all fucked up. Do you think I could just adjust the jetting on the nitrous kit to bring the fuel trims back to normal? I'm like, yes. And he did it. Car fucking still runs if I'm not mistaken. Big K says, Alex, I just ran a low 10-second pass in my 1080 Whipple GT tune, but you guys have so much left in it. Got so much left in it. 60 foot was terrible, 178. So easy compared to my Jet NA. Thank you, guys. I mean, guys, the fast NA guys are light, and probably spend $3,000 to $4,000 more than you did to get to that point. And I've said that a million times. The quickest and fastest NA Coyote, period. I'm now micro recording it. S550, S197, I think it's Pure Evil. Pure Evil, JPC built Mustang. Stick shift. 8 something. Where'd it go? Yeah. I don't want to run that. I don't want to fucking put that page. There you go. And when we're talking Coyote record, I'm talking not the micro record, all Coyote. All right. And oh Jesus, sorry. Let me headphone users, beware. Let me see if I can get the right here. Boom. Mike Washington is the owner. Stick shift. And before you guys say, well, it's a Fox body. Guess what, guys? Weight is weight. If this thing weighs 2,800 pounds, it doesn't care if it's an S550. It doesn't care if it's an S197. It doesn't care if it's a Corolla. If this thing weighs 2,900 pounds and it has a Coyote in it, it's a Coyote record. Sorry. This was October 24th, 2017. Maybe this is the wrong video. We'll see. Jesus! 917. This was 3 years ago. He's been 8 since. So let's find his 8-second pass. Here you go. Project Pure Evil goes 877 at 53. Shee! On God. So this thing has gone, shout out to Race Pages Digital. Project Pure Evil, 877 with an NA Coyote. So guys, this guy has a good chunk of change, and that's a stick shift. That's a man's car. So he has a good chunk of change in that car. Understand that. That car is legit as fuck. And you never heard me talk about that car, right? You never heard me talk about that car because we have nothing to do with that car. So, but shout out to them, JPC, and all the people who are involved. Awesome. So when you're talking NA money, that money that's in that car probably builds an A50 car that still has AC. You know what I'm saying? People keep pushing their emotions onto data in all aspects of life. I 100% agree. JPR says, how often do you see cam crank sync code after a cam install? A lot when someone puts the cams in wrong. Like all the time when someone puts the cams in wrong. I can't remember when you suggested to run the car into a ditch while data logging. I wonder how many people actually would have done it. Take a hard left and put it in the ditch. I put it in the ditch and I got the data log for you. Let me know how it looks. Shit. Oh, man. It's power to weight, not power to chassis. And shout out to them. Mike Washington's car is fucking legit. Stick shift, Fox body, NA Coyote 8s, 153. Super badass. That's insane. Sheesh. 9,000 RPM, sidestep. Just let it go. He goes, damn, I'm late again. Shark Marls. Exactly. All right, guys. I'm over time. It's been 1:02, so I'm going to get the hell out of here. Thank you for guys that donated to the chat. Killa already said that. Missed the show, vacation support, Road Rage 660. The Anonymous became a Bitch of Love member. Killick said, regards to leaving it alone while flashing, while touching the accessories, or even just opening the door or interfere with it at all. Yes. Any spikes in voltage, really avoid doing. Stay in the car. Don't move until everything is perfect. Because if you do anything to mess with voltage or anything, it might interrupt the flash. Just be careful when you're flashing your vehicle. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you guys on Sunday, 9:30 a.m. for the Peasant Chat. Tomorrow, I'm off. I'm going to be dynoing the F-150 at Power by the Hour. And we're going to see what it makes on pump gas and see if we can tow with it, get some video, get some content, get you guys stuff more than just live streams, because I think it's time to get you guys more videos now that the weather's getting better and we got some stuff to cover. All right, guys, see you.